I believe Wichita becomes stronger when people feel connected. And that's not just something I put out there on a website or say in this video. It actually guides the way I build my business and live my life. And if someone sent you this video, they trust me with something that matters to them, and that's you. So before we ever talk about this city or the real estate here, I want to tell you exactly who I am and why I do what I do. My name is Joseph Hamer, and I'm a realtor here in Wichita, Kansas. And this channel exists because I genuinely believe that when people feel connected to the city face to face, Wichita gets stronger, and I will continue to be a big supporter of that level of community. So here's the story behind that, because I think it actually matters why you should or shouldn't trust me. I was an elementary teacher first, and I loved it. And I mean, really loved it. Not in the way that people say they just love their job, but in the way where I would work all night if my wife would have let me. Watching the kid figure out how to handle a hard moment, or seeing the classroom that started as strangers in August and actually become a family. That stuff genuinely filled me up. When I moved into administration, the work changed though. I was still in a building full of people that I cared about, but I was now handling the worst part of everyone's day, all day, every day, and slowly, without even totally realizing it, I stopped feeling like I was consistently adding real value. Meanwhile, on nights and weekends, Stevie and I were buying and renovating and renting real estate since 2019, and I had started a monthly investor meetup, and I was having conversations about real estate at work, after work, and it kept me excited through midnight. Until one day, my wife and I looked at everything honestly and thought, wait a second, this doesn't have to just be our retirement plan. This could actually be a life we build today. So I got my license, I made the jump, and honestly, the universe answered. I've been busy doing the work I love every single day since, and I'm thriving. I'm adding real value again. And that bold, slightly terrifying decision years ago turned out to be one of the best things I've ever done. Stevie might say she knew I could do it all along, but her belief and her support made that leap possible. So what does that look like day to day? Well, I work with families, investors, relocators, homeowners all across Wichita and the surrounding areas. I'm guiding first-time home buyers who are trying to figure out what's even possible. I'm helping families who are growing and need more room to breathe. I'm supporting investors who are building something that lasts. People moving here from somewhere else who need to know someone who actually knows what's happening in the city, and not just the bedroom and bathroom count that they need, but the actual lifestyle of the different neighborhoods. And when it's all working the way it should, it doesn't feel like a transaction. It feels like someone's in your corner. And let me tell you what I actually mean so that you don't feel like I just threw that phrase out there. I had a client moving to Derby from out of state recently, and by the time they landed, we found the right house. I felt like I knew them well enough, like their situation, their strengths, and what mattered to them, that we were able to craft an offer that beat out 5 other offers. Not just on price, not on fit, but knowing exactly how to position them in this market. Another client was buying land, and when we hit a restriction with the county that really honestly could have derailed the whole dream, I called the county clerk and worked through that process. I navigated the paperwork and got the ball rolling for them, not because it was technically my job, but because it was the right thing to do for them during such a big moment of their lives. And sometimes having someone in your corner actually means knowing when to draw a line. Like when a buyer is freaking out over a repair request and piling on too many repairs that are going to kill a deal that they actually want. Part of my job is protecting people from their own anxiety in the big decisions. It turns out that years of working with 8-year-olds and their parents has a surprisingly good training for that. Okay, so outside of real estate, because I do think you should know exactly who you're dealing with before you decide to ever work with me or someone else. A little bit about me is that I grew up in Wichita. I grew up on the west side going to Mays schools, and Stevie, my wife, and I now live on the east side. And I would go to bat for the east side of town all day long. We have a fat cat, we have 2 dogs, Camper, who is genuinely the most chill dog, like is a legitimately licensed therapy dog that came to school with me every day, and Cricket, who would never last a day in school because he has the energy of someone who just discovered coffee for the first time, except he has that all day, every day. A runner, not in a casual way, like I organize races and think about training plans and probably more than what's reasonable kind of way. Running is where I process things. It's where I find community and honestly where a lot of my best thinking sparks from. I'm a Sporting Kansas City supporter. If you haven't made it to Kansas City for a game, you've got to make the trip, and you'll probably fall in love with the team too, even though we're on a bit of a losing streak. And here locally, I host Pints and Properties. It's a monthly networking event here in Wichita for real estate investors and really anyone in the real estate space who wants to connect. We share ideas and truly grow together. So if you're investing in this market or even thinking about it, you should be there. It's one of my favorite nights of the month. And I tell you all of this not because I think you need to know my full biography before we start talking or buying or looking for a house. I tell you this because I think the kind of realtor who I am is inseparable from the kind of person I am. But here's the thing that actually ties everything together. I serve our community by sitting on the board of 2 local nonprofits, Run Wichita and also Family Promise of Greater Wichita. They're an organization who works with families and children experiencing homelessness and housing insecurity in and around our city. Right now, over 2,000 children in the greater Wichita area don't have a permanent place to call home tonight. That number lives in my head. It inspires me to keep connecting, and a few years ago, my friend Matt Marr and I started a race called Laps for Love to raise funds and awareness for that mission. Here's how that race works. 100 runners will show up at 9 a.m. and run just over 4 miles. And then they do it again at 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. and noon and every hour on the hour until only one person is left standing. It's called a backyard ultra, and the reason it matters to me, beyond just the love of running and wanting an excuse to put on an insane race, is that it's one of the most honest metaphors that I know of for those families that are going through the housing insecurity and homelessness. It's pure grit, pure endurance. And the thing that gets people through lap after lap isn't just their own toughness, it's their crew. The people at the start line who are refilling their water, massaging what's cramping, telling them that they've got this and sending them out there for one more time. And that's what I want to be for this city, for my clients, for anyone that I'm blessed to be in their corner. I believe Wichita becomes stronger when people feel connected and when neighbors know each other, when we actually show up for each other. And this channel, the races, the meetups, the work ethic, it all comes from the same place. I made a decision that all of my arrows need to be pointed in the same direction, and I meant it. So whether you're dreaming about your first home, planning your next chapter, investing in something bigger, or just trying to figure out what's even possible in this market, I'd love to be a part of that conversation. I will help you think ahead. I will help you avoid expensive mistakes. I will help you feel confident in those big decisions. Because buying or selling a home is never just about the property. It's about the life that you're building around it. The link is in the description. If you want to schedule a chat, please reach out. That's where it all begins. And if someone sent you this video, hey, I hope it helped you get a better feel for who I am before we ever get to shake hands. That's exactly why it exists. And if you found this video on your own, welcome. I'm glad you're here. We've got an entire city to explore together. I'm Joseph Hamer. Let's grow some roots.